that person's brand. You were talking about building a brand.
A brand, yes.
Someone will say, I will vote for this person, whether they have come as NRM or they are independent or they are opposition. It takes us back to how that person has structured themselves throughout the time.
No. I think I resonate with you, but most of the times I get questions of people saying, where do you belong? But also they think that I don't know what I want. When I will post today, I'll post FDC, I'll post NUP, because I believe in someone's ideology. Exactly. But the society will always say, this one went opposition. This one is fighting.
Now that is the same thing I was telling you people, that our society is not open-minded to certain things, and we need to break that barrier. Exactly. How do we break that barrier? It begins with you, me, my friend. I need to tell you that, yes, you've come on no, but if your ideology does not resonate with me, or you're an NRM, if your ideology in that particular election is not resonating with me, I will not support you. If there is a candidate out there, maybe in another party, but they are actually saying what truly resonates with what everyone would want, definitely I would advocate for people voting for him, because that person presents themselves as a better leader in this particular case. Exactly. So we as a nation, and a nation that is filled by young people, we need to be open-minded and be welcoming to certain things.
But then, again to your point still, you may find you're competent, you're resonating into that field. But again, you find you subscribe to a certain party. And you have to follow the manifesto of a certain party. Conflict of interest. You may find, yes, you don't agree with what NRM does, but you are NRM, right? But then you will go in a caucus whereby they are saying, our manifesto is this.
So how do you better that manifesto and make sure that it fits within what you want?
That is what I think. It would be better as a country if we be non-partisan.
So you're saying,
so are you disputing the multi-party dispensation?
You're disputing.
Yes.
So
is it possible?
Is it possible?
I don't know how possible that can.
It may be impossible, but that would be a very good idea.
Exactly.
Because now you'll have to serve two masters. You have to serve the interests of your party, then you have also to serve the interests of your community.
But
because the community,
Denis, in the fact that you yourself originally belonged to FDC, but now because of the little misunderstanding, you felt you needed to belong to another political party, and hence the PFF. Do you think our minds are that really welcoming to the idea that I don't need to belong to this political party? If roads are bad, they are bad for NRM. If roads are bad, they are bad for NUP. They are bad for EFPF and Ecological Party.
You see, as he talked about the manifestos of the parties, you might find that what is in the manifesto of NUP, NRM, PFF is totally different from what the society is demanding. But if we had no parties, that means I would have to front lane the interests of the society where I'm coming from and that I'm representing. Other than now, beginning not to conflict with the interests of my party and the interests of the community. I'll give you an example. We had a former woman member of parliament of Fort Potro, Sylvia Rwawo, on the issue of the Jukwata. Yes, she came in Fort Potro, mobilized the people in the community. They told her to Jukwata. She came in the parliament. She stood by that. Trust me, after that, the NRM members in the community themselves started fighting Sylvia Rwawo. Even they brought in a different candidate just because she frontlined the interests of the community.
And I think change comes with resistance, and because it comes with you cannot think things will change in a comfortable zone. Things change because there must be resistance. You're opposing the status quo, and meaning you're going to make some people uncomfortable.
Yes. And I believe as a leader, you should actually be in a better position to understand that when I stand in regards to this, I am going to conflict with party A and party B.
Yes.
But you yourself, you know the right decision.
Now,
It is
conflict of interest, you see where now it comes from? Now that means you may be forced, you get, to follow what the manifesto of NRM is fronting, but not the interests of your people.
Let me ask Edwin, you are a member of NRM.
Yes.
Are you saying that that there is a possibility that the manifestos are detached from the realities of what people are facing? Because what I know is that they are looking at socio-economic transformation, for example, and if you deal with a question of socio-economic transformation, it means you're dealing with a question of employment, you're dealing with a question of fighting poverty, and also elevating young people into those bigger spaces. So if you say there's a likelihood of manifestos being detached from, actually I've read through most of the manifestos, they are not detached, just that they are trying to bring out the same thing in a different language
manner.
and different phrasing. Yeah.
But do you know that in most cases, NRM may be like, we are doing socio-economic transformation, but when in real science it is not doing it?
How?
It is possible, especially
Oh.
by the stakeholders not
Exactly.
involved.
Like maybe the stakeholders,
Yes.
the implementers.
Yes.
That is now where we come in.
Yes.
We need to vote for people who we can ask for accountability.
Not even
Who we
voting.
can
Young
ask-
people need to know they
Nothing.
have a mandate to
A
hold
mandate.
leaders accountable.
Nothing.
You
You
call
find they
them to
also have
order.
nothing to influence.
You have nothing to
Yes.
influence really.
Yes.
That
Because
is now
Edwin
a
sits in a
Yes.
council
Hey.
where he and her female councillor
Yeah.
are just two of them. The rest are representative of sub-county to district who
Yes.
are old. So they don't resonate with what young people actually are going through are saying.
Yes.
When you speak and you're bold enough, they will say you're shouting or you're too loud. And the next time you not get the microphone. But that doesn't mean that we keep silenced.
Because of
You have to push consistently. If it is Twitter, if it is physical, if it is online, anything.
we actually need to embrace
And most
ideas.
councillors become puppets in those councils
councils,
because
yeah.
yours is to just nod. Nod.
Just accept the amount of saying yes.
We just keep
You have to
saying
nod
yes.
in agreement.
Because there is somewhere we know when I was doing the mobilization for the previously ended election for National Youth Council chairmanship, I was somewhere up country, and it was so unfortunate that some of these leaders who were actually running for the positions did not know their roles and for the positions they're running for. Then someone tells me, our district registrar told me to stand, and I'm like, okay. So what happened? So then you begin now, that is where it comes to us until now. Okay, yes, the district registrar did not tell you, but I am aware of what this person is supposed to do. So we share knowledge. I take this person through, no, you're actually supposed to do A, B, C, D. Now this person becomes aware. But they need to be, this needs to be like consistent for them to actually get to fully understand what they are supposed to do. So I think we also need to embrace the culture of sharing knowledge, informing these people of actually, because people are in those positions, but when they don't know what they are supposed to do.
But now you see where the challenge
I
is.
know someone who was running for female affairs, and then she sat down with a colleague and agreed, and then she was the one who was willing to settle for student affairs rather than female affairs, until when she realized later that, oh my god. So I think we shouldn't jump into things before understanding them. That's why they say as young people we are still struggling to read,
And we
because
need
all
to
the
seek
information
knowledge.
is in books.
Yes.
But we don't read. We wait
And
to
we-
question who has voted that one. Why am I not voting?
Exactly.
But you had the chance to join right from the
And we
village.
don't even seek knowledge. We do not. We are just so comfortable in
No,
wherever we are.
but again, I think we are having a fair generation whereby
I think that's a bad statement.
no. Me, I like it when at times I use rough words.
Yes,
You
I
know,
understand.
Now, me, I will take an example of myself. You organize a program whereby you want to lecture these young leaders of how best they need to really handle these youth councils, these national politics. But you tell someone, you know what? How best you organize a youth council, it be like there is no facilitation. How many youth will turn up?
Now,
You're saying
The
we
biggest percentage.
exactly. You're now saying we advocate and
I
we
am
lecture
going to
these.
cut you short in regards to that. We need to know our community. Our community, yes, currently is monetarized.
Exactly.
But at the same time, we have traditional things that still stand. For example, the Itesot. I'm going to use them as an example. Or the Atekero community. They tend to come together where there is a port. You may not have the money to give them that I've organized this thing, now I'm giving you money to go back. No. But you could, we need to also be creative. Now this is calling for creativity from us as leaders. That if I say, you guys, tomorrow I think you guys can come and we share a drink or two. Amidst that sharing a drink or two, you could relay certain information that is actually important. And I can assure you guys, we have done it with the Karamoja people, that is the Karamoja sub-region, and indeed it came out to what? To play. We have not given you money for transport, no. We invited you over, you have come for a drink, one for the road, and we have given you the information we want. And indeed, later, we realized that this information we shared with them, it came to play.
Who are sponsoring the drinks?
People welcomed it. It takes us back it takes us back to sacrifice. As a leader, if I realize there is a weakness somewhere, and off my little funds, off my little money I'm giving, the best I can manage is giving you a pot of malwa or calling you for a pot of ajono with me, and we share a word or two. It is more effective that way than me waiting 2 years to come when I have money to give you for
Denis
transport.
said something.
Now you see, everything, especially as a youth leader, everything still comes back to monetarization. That is the biggest challenge. The fact is, even if you understand that your society is a society that needs football, and you want to mobilize the youth through organizing what? Football. There is no way going to organize this tournament without what?
Funds.
Without funds.
Yes.
So now that is another challenge. That is the biggest challenge. Even if you want to pass on the good information through the tournament, maybe through you have to first meet the captains, talk to them, what, blah, blah. Still, the issue comes back, are you having the funds? Because everything is all about funds. We
So,
don't have
Denis,
funds.
are you saying if we largely address the question of employment or the question of unemployment, we solve the greater challenges?
Of course, the biggest challenge is unemployment. You say, if somebody is very poor, it is very easy to use that person. If somebody is having 20 million, you cannot come and begin lying him or her with your 10,000. You cannot. But rather you look for somebody who is having zero in his or her pockets, so that you can use him for your own interests. I'm telling you the fact right now, we have been mobilizing people to come and we share with them ideas at Kyambogo University. These are people who are educated. We look at them as elites. But somebody is going to ask you, are you going to give us some facilitation, the 10,000? We have been organizing to bring in some people who are going to advise these people in terms of career guidance, what and what. But somebody is going to ask you, is there money? Are we going to get money? Forgetting that the knowledge somebody is going to inculcate in that person is much more better and more useful than the 10,000 I'm going to give you. So the problem comes back also to our mindset. Our mindset as the youths.
So how do we solve mindset, Julie?
Mindset change, basically we need to create awareness that now, like for example, those
Julie, we've had a government that has been in power for close to 40 years, and we are still saying we need to create knowledge and information about mindset. We still have people of 70 going to Chankwanzi to seek mindset change. Are we losing it, or is it that we must be as hopeful as we can?
I think we must be as hopeful as we can, because previously those people of 70 years were not actually welcoming the programs. But now if we can have them actually going, it means we are moving.
I think those people benefited in those programs than it is today. Why? Because most of the young people today are exposed. There is a lot of information online that either constructs them or destroys them. And if I see maybe Italy is doing it this way, somehow I think, why isn't Uganda doing it that way? But we forget those guys existed even before we had things like Google. Yet they were able to put something on table. So we as young people, where are we in our own world without what was created for us before?
I think it's because as a nation, maybe our government realized that we needed these programs at a later stage. But if now the government tries to make it come from the grassroots, that from when we are younger, being part of the patriotism club should be a must, not an option. Exactly. You get that way we are building children who have the who have the country at heart, who have that understanding of the nation comes first and unity builds us together as one. Not the things that we have picked up at a later stage, realize, actually these people are having different ideologies and they cannot come to a consensus because of the different things. Now they feel because I am FDC, I am NRM, I should take different routes rather than sit on a round table and dialogue. So when we begin it from the grassroots, it will help us better. So I think it's something that we are having in place, but it should be done in a different manner. Let's begin from down, from baby or primary or whatever. Have these kids be part of the patriotism club, where they learn different parts, different things about the country, and later when they choose to take different parts, they understand that yes, I am FDC, but I can still sit down with NRM, PFF, and we dialogue and come to a consensus as a team without changing our political parties if that's what we want. Okay. For me, I think that's what it would
Edwin,
be.
as we wind this up, when you look at a young person who can make a toy, who can make a vehicle, who can make a car, the Western world, the kind of education system that by P1 equivalent Uganda, I can be able to do something with my hands that can help me get some money. And here in Uganda, you're told go to primary, go to secondary. You're learning history, Idi Amin, Hitler. You know, I'm not disputing the fact that history is important for us to know, but up to now, I always wonder how a Hitler really understanding him has helped me today. So conclusively, education system vis-a-vis positioning young people for change.
I think our education system is really rigid.
Very.
It's actually very rigid to an extent that we are trained to be, in most cases, job seekers, but not job creators. Yes. That is where these Western countries are a bit far better than us. You find someone at the age of 2 years, they are in position to know which kind of profession can this young kid take, which is not in Uganda. Uganda, for us, we are studying about the Hitlers and when in real sense, yes, it's somehow okay, but not compared to what is happening in the Western world. So I think our education is rigid and we need to think about how best we can position our youth. The moment we position our youth in the right way, we shall even live along this entitlement thing, whereby someone grows entitled. He knows that the moment I do this, I must get this, working for pay. Now, the moment someone knows that I'm into the education system, I must get done with the education and start being paid. Now, it links up to even the thing of politics that I was telling you. Someone comes into a campaign knowing that I'm going to invest, but I'm going to get this money out of this. I will give you an example of, there is a guy called Yakutangaza Ezra. Yakutangaza Ezra came in Ntungamo district, where guys were used to getting 100, which guy was competent. Guy tried to drive the points to how the youth are affected. But we did not listen to him as the youth. We even started shouting, hey, how can you lecture for us 1 hour? When in real sense, he was tackling the effects or the things that really affect us, the youth. But then after he gave 50,000, we are entitled to an extent that we said, if you knew that you could not manage to stand for Western Youth MP, why did you come? Why do you have to give us 50,000? Can you imagine? So that means we are so entitled, and it comes from the system we start with as young people.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
We are groomed.
And what no.
We are groomed to work and be paid, instead of us creating something that can make us earn.
Young people love quick money. Conclusively, Denis, conclusively.
Yes. as Edwin has already talked about it, the issue starts from the background. The children. Right now, you're having a young sibling. You want to send him to the shop. You will say, you go buy me salt. I will give you 100 shillings for what? For a sweet. Now, this child grows with this mentality. Yet for me to do anything, there must be something that I'm going to earn from it.
Yes.
Are you getting me? Now, if we solve this problem from the grassroots, that is not a must that
Isn't it
whenever...
encouraging them that when you do something, you can be paid for it?
You see, now this is the challenge that we are having. Now people are growing up with this mentality that everything that I do, I'm going to get something. Because this is what my parent taught me from day one.
Yes, from the one
from day one.
Yes.
That I'm going to bring a packet of salt from the shop. She's going to give me 100 shillings. Tomorrow I'm going to be in an office. Yes. You're going to bring in you've offered in, you're looking for a job. I will say, you first put here 1 million. So that I can give you what? A position.
All those will be solved when we all have a spirit of patriotism and nationalism.
Still position.
Which we can do from when we are young.
From young, then we go back to our traditions, some of these things.
I don't know if you've noticed, but most people who are part of the patriotism clubs from way back, Girl Guide, what. There is a way those people are somewhat different from other people.
Now,
it is because from way back they know that as a person or as someone who you're supposed to love your country, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to be a citizen of this nature.
To me, I think patriotism can also not work in where we've gone right now.
Why not? Are you that negative about what is going on?
No, I'm not
in the
actually
country?
being negative. Patriotism is good, but the problem is there are some parties also which, or the ruling government also has an interest.
Exactly.
You get has also an interest in that patriotism. You may find now we are organizing a patriotism camp in Chankwanzi, but you find that we are positioning our people into the system who we know that are going to vote us in 2031.
But you can't position only your people as the entire.
That is what I'm telling you.
That
is where the
we think the government is actually positioning our people.
Not really. It is the reality.
That is the reality.
That is the reality. We shouldn't run from the reality. You see, we have been having a lot of initiatives started up by the government. But to be sincere, the fact is, the people, the youths who are not NRM-sided, they have been left behind. A lot.
But sometimes
I'm giving an example.
Okay, guys, let's call this off. It's been Edwin here.
Thank you so
much. It's been
much.
Julie there. It's been Denis there. And this is Tracy behind the camera.
Yeah, it has been a pleasure.
Bye, all of you. We
Thank
love
you so much.
Thank you so much.